Hey there, guys. My name is Janelle Summers, and this is the Team Hardcore Training Call. And today is April 6th. So we're at the beginning of the month. You've got plenty of time to make this like your most amazing month yet this year. Even if you feel like you didn't start off the year that great, it's never too late. Draw a line in the sand. Start talking to people. Sometimes things get overwhelming. It's like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? At the end of the day, if all else fails, be on your journey. Be a student, be learning, be trying, be putting yourself out there, be sharing what's working for you and not working for you, and being vulnerable, and literally just leading with the agenda to help people, to listen to their needs and just help them. So don't overcomplicate things. I am very, very, very excited about this call because this is a topic we really, I don't think, until I hear it, but I don't think we've covered this topic. And I'm really excited to learn from Emily Kirby myself. Emily is last year she finished in the top 25. She's only been coaching for 2.5 years, you guys. She is a 5-star elite coach, which is also very amazing in that amount of time. And please don't start comparing yourself, right? Don't do that. She's currently in the top 10 of all coaches, which is amazing. So let's be honest, we need to listen to what she's got to say. Now, for those of you that are on my team and you get on my trainings regularly, you've heard Emily speak before. She was on a call with some of my other leaders, including her sponsoring coach, Angie Bellamar, who spoke last week. I hope you listened to that one. And Emily did such an amazing job. And I had such great feedback on Emily's topic and Emily as a speaker. And I thought, we really do need to have her on again. And let me just mention one other thing that's not like an accolade, but Emily has such a great Instagram account. I was just looking at her Instagram account and I'm like, wow, she does such a great job. Check it out. So Emily Kirby is spelled Kearbey, Kearbey. Check her out on Instagram. Her pictures, when you look at her gallery, you're right away like, okay, follow, duh. It's like you just get that immediate. And you guys, that's what you want to have. If you're big on Instagram, which Instagram obviously is great, you want your photos to look like that. Like, wow, what a beautiful account. I do want to see these photos in my feed. And the other thing you'll notice is that the photos are bright, they're clear, they're crisp, and she's smiling in so many of her pictures. She's got this big smile. You feel excited. You're like, yes, I need this positivity in my life. It doesn't feel like randomness. It just feels great. So anyway, I just had to point that out. So with that, Emily, are you there?
I am here. I am excited. Hello, everybody. It's really crazy, actually, to be talking to you guys. Like Janelle said, I've only been coaching for 2.5 years. And so the progress that I've been able to see in my business has been really, really cool. I think another thing a lot of people don't necessarily realize about me is that I did start coaching when I was just 21 years old. So I had a lot kind of going on there. I was young. I was in college. I hear a lot of times, people are busy or they feel like, they just feel like there's a lot of odds stacked against them. But really, I was getting into this business in such a, transitional place in my life that it became my plan A. I didn't like where my life was going. I was going to school for finance and insurance, which I hated. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I definitely don't need that 9-to-5 cubicle life, and that wasn't something that I wanted. And so this came into my life at the perfect time. I had just lost 50 pounds with P90X3. So I was already a diehard fan. I was a P90X girl. I am still to this day obsessed with Tony Horton. And I just wanted to get involved. I really wanted to start changing lives, and I got in it for a very pure reason. At the time, I didn't have this grand vision for my business. I had no idea that I would end up where I am today, I guess. But I just jumped in, and I just tried every single day. And I think that before I even get started with my topic for today, that's a huge tip for you right there, is to be willing to fail forward. You're going to have to learn as you go. It's not all going to be perfect as you get started, and it shouldn't be. If it was that easy, everybody would do it, right? But I think being just, kind enough with yourself so that you can fail forward and you're okay with that, every single day you're going to get better. Every single day. Like my Instagram feed, while it might be pretty now, was a hot mess express when I was getting started, but the only reason that it improved was because I never stopped trying. So I'm really excited to talk with you guys today. I'm going to start a screen share with you. So let's see if we can do this here.
Do you see where you can screen share? Oh, you do. You've got it.
Perfect. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to attract, chat, and commit kind of sharing some processes that I think are really going to improve your conversations. But of course, before you have conversations with people, you need to be attracting people into your world. And this is something that I'm really, really, really passionate about. I love attraction marketing. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have to invite, and that still is something that's not gonna go away, but your life can become a lot easier and your business can flow a lot better when you can really improve your attraction rate. And so I'm gonna give you my top tips on getting people into your world. So I think this is important to understand. I'm not sure where I heard this. It might have been on a podcast, but at all times, you're either creating curiosity or resistance. We have all seen the overly salesy coach, the overly salesy, makeup rep or whatever, whether they're pushing leggings or whatever. We have a real solution here for people. And the only way that they're gonna see that is if you're piquing their interest and you're not shoving things down their throat. So you're never gonna see me post a picture, kissing my Shakeology shaker cup or just being extremely robotic and branded, if you will. So these are kind of my top tips on how to attract others to you. And of course, I am very much so a diehard Beachbody girl. I have been doing our programs religiously for the past 3.5 years. I love our world, but the only way that I can get other people into our world is by helping them relate to me first as a human, right? This is a relationship business. People tell us that all the time. So my top tips for this would definitely be to get authentic. You have to really be okay with the fact that you can't appeal to everybody. I think this happens to nearly all coaches, especially at the beginning of their business, is they start to assume they have to be this cookie cutter Beachbody coach, or they have to be their sponsor coach, or they have some top coach out there that they really love, and so they start to make their feed or their social media, whatever platform they're on, they start to make it look exactly like that. But I really want you to realize that you're going to thrive in your business when you can authentically be you. The ups, the downs, the real, the raw, and something that can usually help us to figure this out. Because I know for me, I struggled with this at first. I was told, be authentically you, authentic you times 2 or whatever. And at the same time, I was struggling with that. I knew who I was in my real personal life, but my social media life almost felt like it had to be different. And I realized that it didn't. So I kind of always talk my girls through to figure out, who were you before Beachbody? Before fitness came into your life, before coaching came into your life, what were some things that you would struggle with? What were some things that you would have loved to learn about, or that you would have loved to see somebody, on their journey sharing? I think this is huge. Kind of thinking about what your dream audience, what your dream client, what keeps them up at night? And then kind of showing them those solutions through your life, but you're not gonna appeal to everybody. Like I said, I got started in this business very young. I am very, very positive. I am very uplifting. I am very upbeat. And I've literally had somebody before ask me if they were to coach, do they have to be like a poppy little cheerleader like I am? And not everybody likes that. And I think that that's okay. And for a while, I would try to kind of cover who I was so that I could appeal to the masses. But the truth of the matter is if you're trying to appeal to the masses, you're really going to appeal to nobody because nobody's getting to really know you. So think about that. What did you need to hear? Who do you like to hang out with? And just be you online. Number 2 is to brand you. This is something that I see all of the time, and it is the overly Beachbody branding. Now, you shouldn't be hiding the fact that you are a Beachbody coach. You should be proud of what we have to offer. It's incredible. The programs that we have, the life-changing opportunity within coaching, it's insane. It really is. But it's important that you understand that social media was created for sharing, not for selling. And so if your feed starts to feel like an infomercial all of the time, people are going to run the other way. It gets annoying. I know for me personally, like when I see other friends who they're not necessarily in coaching, but they do whatever they do. And they're like every single day they're posting weird salesy pictures or they're trying to get me to buy something every day. I unfriend them. I unfollow them because it gets annoying in my feed. I want to connect with people, right? I want to build relationships. And that's what other people are searching to do as well. So if you listened to the National Wake Up Call this week, I know Shalene talked about this and I loved it. It's the know, like, trust, right? If somebody doesn't know who you are, they don't have the opportunity to actually like you. And if they don't like you, they can't trust you. And what we do is we ask people to change their lives with us. It's not a small transaction that's happening here. If they're getting started with your challenge group or they're getting started with your team, it doesn't really matter what area we're looking at here. No matter which way they're going, their life is about to significantly change. And they have to trust that person that they're going to take that journey with. So if you're letting them know you as a human on your social media, they're going to be able to actually build that trust with you. So on my page, I'm very much so branding Emily Kirby, me as the person. Yes, I am a Beachbody coach, and I love that about myself, but it's what I do. It's not who I am. And then of course you need to be adding a lot of value on your social media. It's that jab, 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 right hook concept. If you're constantly asking for something from your audience and you're not giving, it's going to be a very off-balance ratio, and you're not going to see a lot of success from that. So I always try to ask myself, would this post help somebody? Would this post make my potential client's day a little bit brighter? Would it actually, benefit somebody? So I think that this is really helpful to think about, because when you're adding value on social media, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in that person's mind of the go-to person when they're ready to change their life. We all know that not everybody's ready today, right? I know for me, when I had an extra 50 pounds on my body, that 50 pounds, that was there for almost a year. I had to really personally hit this point where I wanted to make a change. And it's up to us to be here when they're ready to make a change. But it's really nice when they think of us first, because we're constantly adding so much value on our social media. And I think that with all of this, if you're authentically being you and you're branding you as a human and you're adding value to other people's lives, attraction marketing gets very easy. And what that essentially means is that people are starting to come to you instead of you having to go hunt down every single person that you work with. Now, I think that's where most of us tend to start in our businesses, don't get me wrong. But as you progress and as you build a presence for yourself online, this can become a really great avenue for you to not always have to be, hitting the pavement so incredibly hard with inviting. So this is a really cool thing. I don't remember where I heard this either, but I loved it. It's the fact that you're 1 in a million, yeah? We always say that. So that means in the US alone, there are over 300 of you running around. Go find them and start an army. This is a great tip for inviting as well. Before we even dive into the conversation tips, it's that if you're actually reaching out to people who you can relate with and you would actually want to hang out with, it's so much easier to get them into your world. So I always tell my girls, for me, when I was getting started, I was a college student. My boot camps were full of other college students. I literally could go invite them on the fact that we had something in common, that I was looking for other busy college students who didn't think that fitness could fit into their life, and asked if they were interested in joining me. Maybe you are a mom, and that's a part of your life that you can go, attract other moms, or you're a nurse or a teacher, or you're, whatever that might be. Maybe you're a military wife. I mean, there's so many avenues, there's so many niches, and I feel like none of them are bad. Sometimes people feel like I've had so many people tell me that they just attract a lot of young people, and young people don't have money. Well, that was exactly who I was attracting. And since everybody else was ignoring them, they were coming to me. So this is really important to understand. There are so many people out there who can and should relate to you. And when you're authentically being you, you can go out there and find these people a lot more easily. So if you're gonna see massive growth in your business, whether in your boot camp or your team, you really need to become a well-oiled machine. At first, it might be okay to have sticky notes all over your office, or to work from little scribble pieces of paper all over the place. But at some point, you really need to get this down to a system if you want to bring in more people, if you want to seem professional, and if you just want to see your business truly grow. So there really is this kind of perfect funnel. And it doesn't have to be, some people might come in at different places, and I think that's fine. But I think that the relationship and the chatting really starts on our social media platforms, right? That know, like, trust process. On my social media every day, I'm letting them know who I am as a human. This is a compliment that I actually get a lot from random followers. It's that they feel like we're friends already. Like, they'll message me, I saw you posted about your boot camp, or I saw you posted about your team. I feel like we're friends. I feel like I understand you. I feel like you'd understand me, right? And that's why they feel like they can reach out to me. You're adding free value online all the time. I mean, you should be adding so much value on your social media. And this is a huge thing that I hear as well, is that coaches feel like they don't have value to add, or they feel like their lives are boring. I mean, there's so many things that I hear. Little things, you guys, are things that don't make sense to other people, like hydration, like literally just having water. Or I would take my food and I would prep it for class because I knew I was going to be gone all day. These little things, those are big tips. A recipe, I mean, it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. But if you start to position yourself as that person of value, other people are going to assume that when they want to make a change, you're their go-to person. So you're getting them to trust you. You're adding value to their life. The next step in the funnel is to offer a lifestyle solution, right? This is through your boot camp, your challenge group, whatever you decide to call it. This is where they decide they want to work on their fitness, their nutrition, their wellness with you. I always kind of like to talk about it in terms of wellness goals because I know not everybody is looking for a weight loss solution. Although that's my story, that's not what's going to appeal to everybody per se. And also it's a very gentle way, you know, so that nobody assumes that you feel like they need a fitness solution, but everybody needs a wellness solution. Everybody wants to feel their best. Everybody wants to feel healthy and happy. And so I think that that's always really great and inviting. So you should definitely be running, you know, a monthly challenge group. You should be bringing new clients in every month, and it should be a very organized thing for you. I always write this out on my calendar. I know exactly when my next group is starting. I know exactly when I'm filling that group, when the cutoff date for sign up is. It's a very systematic thing. And then of course, you know, the main goal here is that they get fantastic results or they fall in love with what we have to offer, and then they want to pay that forward with the coaching opportunity, because that's what really rocked my world, right? Losing 50 pounds completely changed me as a human, but this business changed my life. You know, that scary road that I was looking at before where I was going to go to a bank job that I hated, it's not my reality anymore. And I have choice of freedom, which is something that I have to say as a 24-year-old is really cool. Not a lot of my friends have that. And so I think that that's a huge passion that I have, is helping other women see their potential in the business opportunity. Of course, it doesn't have to only be women, but that's my person, right? Those are my 300 people. That's that army that I'm looking for. And so when I see fit, I offer the business opportunity. And then of course we have to start chatting. So you kind of want to start with this investigation phase, and then you're going to provide a solution. But before any of this can happen, one of my biggest tips for you guys is confidence and enthusiasm. This is something that I get this literally, these words verbatim, is confidence and enthusiastic. You're so confident, your enthusiasm is contagious, and that's what engages other people. That's what makes them believe in themselves. What we do, you guys, for the most part, we're helping other people who are struggling with self-belief, right? They're struggling with self-confidence. They're not happy in their body. They're not happy in their life that they're currently in. And I don't know if any of you have been in that position. I'm assuming I'm not the only one here, but I sure didn't know if I could actually make a change. I hoped that I could, but I think we all have those self-limiting beliefs in our minds. And so it's up to us as coach to be the confident one for them and to be able to spread that confidence to them. If somebody's hesitant or nervous and they're asking you, you know, hey, come change your life with me, but I'm terrified, will you actually join me? It's just not a smooth transition. I hope that that makes sense. We have to be that confident, positive person for them while they're still trying to become that person. And this is going to allow them to believe in themselves enough to take the leap with you. So it's important that you also find a system that works for you. If you aren't tracking your business, you don't have a business. And this was a really harsh gut check for me at some point because I did not have a list. I didn't know who I had talked to in the months prior. I mean, I was just kind of working as I felt, and it wasn't producing insane results. You know, I could hit Success Club, but I wanted to produce more. I wanted to see more business growth. So I think it's really important, and it doesn't matter that you're using my exact system, right? Because we're all different. Our minds work in different ways. But for me, you know, working with sticky notes or working with random pieces of pen and paper, which is what I used to do, it just wasn't working. And so I found a system that works for me, and I want to show that to you. Now, it's obviously a little bit more intricate than just this, but I really love Google Streak. I think it's really awesome. I love setting up the pipelines, and this is something where if you're wanting to learn how to use Google Streak, Google it. Right? Get out there on YouTube. There's so many trainings. That's exactly what I did to figure out how to set it up. And then I set it up in a way that made sense to me. So this is my current flow, my current pipeline for clients for the month. I have my boot camp or my challenge group. It's called my virtual wellness studio. So I know exactly what stage of the conversation we're in. This makes my life easy because I personally dread emails. I love video. I love talking to people. Emails are like the death of me because it's black and white. It takes me a long time. It can take me like an hour to write 20 emails because I'm slow at that part. So I have to make it easier for myself or else it just doesn't get done. This really helps make it a smooth and seamless process, and I can work quickly and effectively. So you can kind of see here how I set it up, and I'm going to get a little bit more in depth with my processes here in a minute. But the first thing they do is they filled out an application for me for my boot camp. And I'm going to tell you how I created that and kind of what I'm getting to there. But that's our first kind of conversation point. Then I have a video that I send them. So you can see right there, currently 38 people have my video in their inbox. I move them to interested or chatting. And then eventually they have a link sent where they're signing up. Once they're officially signed up, I put them in that area so that I know to get them started properly. And you'll see this big number over here. Now, I want you guys to take a note of this. I currently have 74 no's for the month. in my future follow-up section. These aren't people that I'm like, never talk to again. Everybody's a future follow-up. But the reason that I wanted to point that out, you guys, is because I actually hit very high Success Club numbers monthly. You know, I have a lot of no's. I know that I have so many coaches who they hear no and it makes them stop or it makes them slow down. When I hear no's, I keep gunning forward. That's what you're gonna have to do if you're gonna see success in your business. Listen, I'm assuming that maybe some of these 74 people, they aren't my people. Maybe they don't actually resonate with me as much as we should, and that's okay. Or the timing's not right for them. It has to be right for them. And it will be for some people, but the only way that I can figure that out is by actually talking to enough people. And this is something that you have control over. This is always frustrating for coaches when you tell them that you have complete control over the fact that you hit Success Club or you don't, that you hit the rank that you want or you don't. At all times, this is in your control. Are you talking to enough people? Are you adding value on social media? Are you showing up on social media consistently? Are you doing your workouts? I mean, we all know our vital behaviors. They're not complicated. But if they're not happening, your business is not going to grow. And I know for me last year when I went through this big period of growth, I started last year as a diamond coach, and I ended as a 5-star elite coach. That was the second year of my business, you know, and that was, I knew that if I was going to be ranked among these people that I envied and that had been here for a while, I was going to have to work really hard. In fact, I told myself I was going to have to work harder than everybody if I wanted to see that growth, right? And so I did. And I think that this is something that we kind of are naturally, I don't know, taught that hard work is like a bad word or hard work is like punishment, but you guys, it's not. If you're doing work that you love, and if you're doing work at like a massive level, so I read the 10 times rule. It's a fantastic book. But essentially at that point, I kicked up all of the activities in my business by 10 times. I started doing more. If you do more actions, you will see more results. And as you go, you will get better at these actions and you will really see better results. But I love Google Streak. It works for me. It might not, be your jam, but figure out what is so that you can be organized in your business. So let's go ahead and talk about this email process, yeah? So I think that this is really cool because sometimes people want to know what's like this secret script, right? What works? What is the thing that I'm going to be able to copy and paste to all of my clients or all of my coaches, and it's just going to work? And I want you to know that that doesn't exist. And if that's what you're looking for, you're not actually looking to connect with people. And if you're not looking to connect with people, you're not doing what we do as a coach. So this is really important. Now, my first step in this process, when I'm talking to somebody online or they saw my post about my bootcamp and they want more information, the first thing I have them do is fill out this little application. You don't have to do this. This could be a message where you kind of go through these same questions, but for me, it's very efficient and it's something where I have records of it and I don't have to actually go through and make that. So you could do a Google form. You could use like a Wufoo account. I mean, there's so many things out there where you can create, it's just a form, right? But I call it an application. And so in that, I'm trying to dig deep into their fitness goals. If I know their struggles and I can connect with them emotionally, I can provide a compelling and proper solution for them. So, the questions I'm asking are pretty basic, but what you're really wanting to get down to are what are their goals and what are their struggles, right? Like, what do they tend to fall apart with? I mean, what we provide is pretty simple. It's fitness, nutrition, and support. Somewhere, one of these isn't happening if they're not happy with where their life's at, right? Or if they're not happy with the results that they're currently seeing. So I try to figure out which one of those that might be. I ask, how much time they have to put towards their fitness, because I know that's a huge thing that people generally believe is they need a ton of time or they need to go get a gym membership or whatever. So I just kind of get down to their fitness goals. And it's very simple. It's not super long, but I think it makes them feel very heard. And then I can properly provide a solution for them. So they've filled out this application in my link in my bio on Instagram if I'm currently promoting my bootcamp or happening in the message box when I'm inviting. I ask them, if they say they're interested, I say, great, could you fill out this application for me and I'll be in contact via email. I love to have this all in Streak, so I just move them to email. It's not a huge deal. Do what you want to do. But for me, if it's all in one place, I can do it a lot more easily. And so the first email that they're actually going to receive from me is once they filled out this application. And what I'm asking them, I essentially say hey, I'm so excited for you. I'm excited that you're interested in learning more about my virtual wellness studio. While I read through your application, would you have about 10 to 15 minutes to sit down and watch this quick little video I put together that really explains exactly what you can expect from me and my virtual wellness studio? I think this will really help both of us decide if this is a proper fit for you. So I asked them if they have time to watch this little video that I made, and I'll talk about the video in a second here. But this is making sure that they do agree that they have time to watch it. It's short, and it lets them know I am reading your fitness application. But in my mind, you know, I want to know if they're interested before I get super, super, super invested in our conversation. And so I ask that. It's just really helped kind of simplify things for me, especially as I'm talking to more people. So I ask if they have time to watch that video. Nearly everybody says yes, unless they just got busy and forgot to email me back or forgot to message me back. So then I send them, it's such a short email, you guys. It literally says like, all right, you've got it. And here's that video. If you have any questions afterwards, I'd love to chat through them. You know, I can't wait to chat through your fitness application. It's very short. It's just a very short email. It sends them the video. It lets them know that I'm prompting conversation afterwards. But I do recommend having a third-party tool that you use to explain your boot camp. And here's why, or your challenge group. I call mine a boot camp, sorry. So your challenge group. I think it's really important because number one, why I think a video is so cool is because they get to hear your voice and they get to see your face. It's very humanizing. They get to hear, you know, your passion. And I think that that's huge. I was not great at video when I got started, but I knew that if I wanted to build a really successful business, I mean, I don't know how many people there are that work on social media that have never done a video before, because that's the way that people actually get to know us as humans. So this is a really, really, really short video. This could be a PDF that you put together. This could be, you know, whatever, just some resource that explains what they can expect from you. It works really well for me. So in my video, it's 15 minutes. I try to be short, but I can tend to get a little bit long-winded. It explains my story first and foremost. I explain my fitness story, and why I do this is because it explains why I'm so invested in helping them, right? Why my passion is helping other people through fitness. So I kind of talk them through my journey, how I used to feel, how I feel now, and I'm kind of painting that picture of that they could do it as well, right? I'm not even saying those words, but I'm taking them through my journey. And then I let them know, you know, and that's why I am here to help you. That's why it's on my heart. I love helping other women believe in themselves again because I desperately needed that, right? And everybody's story is different. So maybe your story is different from mine, and that's totally okay. But I let them know who I am as a person and why I want to help them so badly. Then I explain the fitness, nutrition, and support aspect. A boot camp is so simple, or a challenge group is so simple. Sometimes I'll have newer coaches who ask, you know, how do I explain this to somebody? What do I walk them through? And with the BOD All Access that we have, you guys, right now, not even just like this promo pack, which is nuts, but with BOD All Access, I mean, our jobs are really easy. We don't have to sit there and talk through every one of our programs, right? We let them know, hey, you're going to gain access to this incredible platform where you have access to thousands of workouts, right? You're never going to get bored, whether you want to work out at the gym, at home, on vacation, wherever you're at. This is going to be able to follow you and make your life so easy. And then I explain our nutrition guides, that they're customized to the individual. I chat them through Shakeology, which for me, and how I explain Shakeology, because this is what it was for me. You know, it was a nutritional supplement. For me, I've done a lot of research into really kind of like how our soil is very depleted and how our foods right now are not the same foods that they were 40, 50, 60 years ago. And so our bodies aren't getting the same vitamins and minerals that they used to, and we're not running at 100%. And I don't feel like this is a surprise. I mean, this is government information if you go look up what's happening to our soil, right? But I think that that's something that I just like to speak on, that for me, it's really cool to be able to get top-notch nutrition sourced from the best places around the world. And that's it. Like, I kind of explain it like that. And I'm like, and a great plus is it tastes like a milkshake. Like, it's delicious. It's helped my body run at optimum levels. I think when you talk about it like very legitimately like that, like why you love it, but for like a very real reason, it's just, people don't even bat an eye. They're like, oh, okay, like that sounds legit. I think I need that, right? And it is legit. I'm not, you know, lying. I mean, this is an incredible resource of nutrition for them. And then I explain support. And I think that this is the most important part. So in that video, I just really chat through, this is where most people fall apart. And I'm going to keep you on track as your personal fitness coach, but you're going to have access to my VIP accountability group, and you're going to love it. And you're going to have so much success. You're going to sit here a year from now, and you're just going to be so blown away by the changes you've been able to see in your life. I think being very positive and reaffirming for them is very helpful. And then after that, so I've explained my story very briefly. This is a lot shorter than what I'm explaining to you right now, but I've explained my story, why I want to help them, fitness, nutrition, support. I let them know that they will not fail, and then I create a sense of urgency and exclusivity. So basically I say, you know, and we're getting started on whenever. I have this many spots available, and if you'd like one of these, make sure you reach out to me sooner than later. It's pretty simple. I do kind of like to cap how many people I work with. You know, I can't work with like 50 clients a month. I mean, maybe you can, and you can make a personal choice there. But I think it's always nice to kind of give them that sense of like, oh man, I should just do this, right? Because it's not that I want to like fooled them into thinking if they don't sign up today, they can never sign up. But a lot of times they're struggling with those self-limiting beliefs and they need a little nudge, I think, to actually commit to themselves. So it's helpful. So they've watched this video. In this solution email, it's just this video, right? And it says, I can't wait to chat afterwards. And usually they message me afterwards or they email me afterwards and they say like, oh my gosh, the video was great. Let's chat. Let's move forward. Or I don't hear from them and I know that they're a future follow-up. And I'll ask them if they watched the video, but sometimes they're just not ready to commit, and that's okay. But if they've watched this video and they've loved it, I don't drag out this conversation, right? I touch back on their goals. So at this point, I've read through their application or their whatever, our conversation of their fitness goals, and I let them know how I can help them with those, how I'm going to be able to fill those struggles for them. I reaffirm how confident I am that their life is going to change, and you should be so incredibly confident in this fact. If you're using our programs, you know how incredible they are, right? If you're not, you don't. And so I think that's important why you need to be a product of the product. But we have such a solution for people that if they follow the system, they will not fail. It's extremely fail-proof. So I let them know that I'm so excited for them. They're going to crush it. Their life is going to be changed forever. I ask, before we move forward, do you have any other questions for me? And usually they don't. They're excited. They want to get started. We make emotional decisions before we make logical decisions, especially when we're wanting to change our lives. And I think that's important to understand. This whole process, I'm getting to know them as a person. I'm personally letting them know who I am in this video, and I'm letting them know how I can help them. This commitment email, I'm touching back on their goals slightly. I'm letting them know how confident I am in themselves. I am helping tap into their emotions because that's important. They're making an emotional decision if they're wanting to change their life. And then I ask, if you don't have any other questions for me, let's go ahead and get started. I sign everybody up with the Coach mobile app because it makes it so simple. They can't click the wrong thing. They can't accidentally click it without Shakeology, right? They can't mess this up. So I sign everybody up with the Coach mobile app, and I let them know, all done on my end, sister. It's in your hands now. If you have any questions through sign up, let me know. But if not, I will see you on the other side. And I'm keeping this very short and brief. I know a lot of times people will drag out their conversations because they're almost nervous to get to the no, right? They're almost nervous to have somebody knock them down. And so they just drag it out forever, hoping they can convince them of something. I'm not in the business of convincing people to change their lives. I'm here for the people that are ready. And I'm going to position myself in front of as many people as possible so that I can find the people that are ready. But I'm not scared of the no. The no might happen. It's not up to me. They'll be back when they're ready to change their life. But I think kind of pushing them through this process, for me, I'm a very impulsive person, so maybe that's just behavioral for me. But I like things, if I want to know about it, I want to know about it now. And if I want to get involved, I want to get involved now. So if you're trying to chat my ear off for a year, I'm not interested. And that's very much so my personality, but I assume that that's how my people work as well, right? Those people that I'm looking for, those people that are authentically me, that 300, my army. And so I ask for a commitment and they commit. And it's very seamless. I know that this might seem like, what? Like, this is very simple. It is very simple. It's not a complicated process. They filled out an application. I say, hey, thanks for filling out this application. While I read through it, do you have time to watch this short little video that'll help us decide if this is a good fit for you? I send them said video. I ask for them to reach out to me after they've watched it. They do. I chat back about their goals. I let them know how much I can help them. I ask if they're ready, they commit. Or they don't, and that's okay, right? That's not up to me. But this process is very, very short, very quick, and very effective. But it's important here, you guys, that you find joy in the process, not just the transaction. This drives me bonkers is when coaches just want to focus in on the paycheck. You're here for the wrong reasons, if so, but you can adjust your mindset, I believe. If you really want to help somebody change their life, you take joy in the process. And if you want to help these clients get fantastic results and potentially want to join your world as a coach, it's important they are enjoying your challenge group, your boot camp, right? They have to have a good experience in there. They have to start seeing those results that you promised. This is, I think, almost a huge mindset barrier for coaches is that you're getting people started with this 12-month all-access bud, right? That's some skin in the game for you. You have a client here for the next 12 months. So many people, and this mindset just drives me absolutely bonkers because it's a failure mindset. It's like, I'm going to try this out for 3 months and see what happens. I'm going to give myself until this date, and if it doesn't work, okay, I'm going to call it quits, right? That was not where I was at mentally when I started my business. This was going to work because my life sucked and I didn't want it to suck anymore. And this was amazing. And I was able to help people and I was able to make a difference. And I wanted that so badly. There was not an expiration date on my business. And so I feel like having that 12-month commitment with your clients is really powerful. And I almost feel like that mental barrier right there might be why you might struggle in your conversation if you're not confident in yourself being here a year from now. You know what I mean? So I think just really taking joy in that process of helping somebody change their life, being there to support them through that, I think it's really powerful. And if you do that, they're going to get amazing results, right? And clients who get amazing results become lifers, and lifers become amazing coaches. Nobody had to convince me to stay around in this business because I loved it. I loved the programs. I believed in them. I believed in this coaching opportunity because if somebody can make such amazing programs, of course this coaching opportunity must be equally as amazing. And that is so true through all of my top coaches. They love our programs, whether they got started with them, well before, like I had done P90X3 well before I became a coach. I did 2 rounds of it, and then I did a round of Body Beast, and then somehow I found out about coaching. I don't know how this all happened backwards like that, but it did, But some of my coaches, they're just starting out with the programs when they get started in the business. I think that's okay, but they have to love what we have to offer if they're going to be a great coach. And so this is just a very small process here where, you're adding value online, you get them into your world in your boot camp, you show them how awesome your world is, and they want to join you for life on your team. It's not complicated. It is fun. And it's going to happen a lot more easily when you're authentically being you. This process works fantastic for me. You might need to tweak it slightly if you're a different person or you're not speaking to the same people, and I think that that's okay. Just like with social media, while Instagram is my jam, maybe it's not your jam, or maybe your look is completely different from mine. That's okay. Your people are going to respond to that. But really embrace who you are, embrace your business, know that you're here for the long term, and really understand that you're here to help other people. When that's your intention, it's so simple. They feel that. They can smell bullshit a mile away, yeah? They know when it's not pure. So if somebody feels like they're your last 2 successful points for the month and you're trying to rush them through the process, or they feel like, you just want to make the sale off of them, they're going to be very turned off. But if they know how emotionally you invested you are in them and that you really want to change their life, whether through your boot camp, whether through your team, this process could be changed for either one of those processes right there. They want to be in your world and they want to hang out with you and they want to be your friend and they want to join your party. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you're attracting them in, you're chatting them through this process, and you're getting them to commit in a very seamless way, and it makes your life easy, and you can be okay with the no's and be ready for the yeses. The people that are ready, you're going to be here with open arms to kind of let them into your world. So that's what I've got for you guys today.
Emily, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Ooh, am I echoing?
I don't think so.
Ooh, I am to me. Okay, so I have, oh my gosh, first of all, this was amazing. Like, I have like 4 people. My phone's already saying Emily's amazing. Okay, so, sorry, I'm hesitating for my own echo. Why is it doing? All right, I'm gonna
Doesn't it drive you crazy?
It's driving me crazy. Okay, so my question was, okay, so we get the process, or at least I do, and I think my followers do too. I mean, my coaches do too. That you're doing your gaps, sharing value on social media, being authentic, really being vulnerable and opening up about who you are, all those things. And then you talk about getting them into a boot camp. And so, I'm assuming that's a post that you're doing on Facebook or whatever, saying, it's your invite into is it a free boot camp that you were talking about at first? What's your free thing?
So what I like to do for free value is actually, can you hear me okay?
I can. I am getting messages that I'm echoing.
Okay. So I'm not a huge free group person, only because it's never been a strength of mine. So if it's a strength for whoever's watching this call right now, that's fantastic. For me, I like to add free value on my social media. I like to do so, like if I make a recipe, I'll turn it into that one recipe. I'll turn it into a PDF on Canva, and I'll ask people to comment below if they want it, and I'll send them the PDF. This is awesome because it's not posting the recipe publicly. They have to actually message me, and it's a pretty little PDF, but it's just a small little thing, and that's adding them to my list. So now I know they're interested in healthy recipes. They might be interested in my boot camp down the line, but I really just try to add as much free value on my social platforms as possible so that they see the value in me. Free groups are great. I don't know why I have a disconnect with them, but I don't know. That's just what I do. I like to add as much value as possible publicly so that I don't have to convince them of my value in the message boxes badly.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I was looking at all my messages during part of that, so I might have missed this part. So when you are promoting your boot camp though, and that's a paid challenge group, that is a post that you're mainly getting traction from, like on Instagram or Facebook or both?
Yeah, so what I do is I post about it. I usually post about it twice a month. So what I like to do is I like to work in weekly chunks. I think it just is helpful for me. So one week I'll be focusing on inviting coaches, right? Whether that's from my previous challengers who are crushing it or whatever. And then the next week I'm bringing in clients and I'm focusing on inviting clients. So you'll see me post probably twice a month on my Instagram and on my Facebook, letting them know that I'm looking for, X amount of people who are looking to work on their fitness goals. When I do this, I ask them to comment below and I'll send them the information. And that's when I'm sending them that application. So I typically post about it twice publicly. And what has been working really well for me, I know for some people, they're going to be like, I don't have a transformation. This isn't going to work for me. I mean, this could easily be your client's transformations, right? This could easily be a coach on your team's transformations. So what I do, let's see if I can find one here. I mean, if you go scroll back just a smidge bit in my feed, like 9 posts, I post a little picture like this.
Okay.
And that's my call to action. And it tells them to comment below with a little bikini. I know you won't be able to read this, but they're commenting little bikinis below. And so then I personally send them a DM on Instagram and I let them know, hey, go fill out this application. I'm so excited for you. And that's kind of how I get them interested in the group. Also, I am sending invites to those people that I add free value to. If I sent them a PDF or if I sent them, if they've reached out to me before and they've just asked for a tip or they were saying that they thought I was inspirational or whatever, I might personally say like, hey, I have this new boot camp starting out. I'd love to have you in there. If you're interested, let me know.
Oh my gosh, I mean, this is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, and I have to add that I was really bad with free groups for years, literally years. Mine all bombed, and I finally have got to the point where I've got a free group that gets tons of demand and traction, which is crazy. But finally, I found it. So anyway, okay, so I wanted to also ask, you were talking about the video, which your system is just, it's so, so good because I'm not a big systems person like I want to be. It's what I aspire to be, but I'm just not naturally. And so this system was absolutely perfect, but I loved your visual of the funnel, starting with the know, like, and trust. I was just talking to my upline, in fact, yesterday, because I'm speaking at Summit on Leadership about that exact funnel. And I said, I'm going to have a visual so people can see, and it was exactly what you just showed, except yours was much nicer and cleaner, so I absolutely loved it. So, okay, you talked about providing that video to them, and I think it really hit on a pain point for a lot of us, because we all hate email, right? And you were like, look, so do I. Let's make this much more simple and still let people, get their feelings out and get their needs out, and just in a way that's so much more effective and time saving. So that was absolutely brilliant. Now you said you provide them with this video. Is it always the same video? Is it a YouTube video you've created and it's always that same video, and then you create the sense of urgency in the email? You say, by the way, we're here's the deadline date, or are you saying that sense of urgency within the video and always creating a new video?
So what I did have to make a new video this month because we have the promo on the All Access Pack, but I do try to reuse the video. I don't necessarily put a date on it in the video itself. I will say, I have however many spots in my boot camp. I try to be consistent with that. So I might say I have 10 spots, in my boot camp. I'm so excited. If you're wanting one of these, reach out to me. This month I remade it because we have the All Access Pack, but what it usually looks like, and I'm not even presenting any other options right now because I think that is the perfect solution for everybody. Yeah. When it was at the $199, I still think it's the perfect solution for everybody, but what I was doing to kind of hopefully be able to help more people, and I saw that it worked pretty well, was in my video, I offered 2 package options. And I said it just like that, 2 package options, 2, client package options. One is just getting started. You're wanting to dip your toes in the water. Maybe you are not super convinced you're gonna, commit, or they have different budgetary needs. And I give them that 140 baud option. It's not all access, it's the quarterly. It's $140 for that in Shakeology, right? They get 3 months access to VOD. It's not all access. And I let them know that I don't think that's the best solution. But if that's the only thing that you can, do right now, I'm happy to meet you in the middle. And then I also tell them that I have my ultimate solution package. So that one sounds way more fun, right? Like we have this just getting started package, and then we've got this ultimate solution package. That's the 12-month all access VOD. right? And I let them know, you're gonna have access to me for a year. You're gonna have access to my boot camp for a year, all of our programs. And I even let them know in that video, that's where my passion lies, right? I can help you have a healthy week. I can help you have a healthy month. Heck, I can help you have a couple of healthy months. But if I can help you have a healthy year, your life is going to be changed. And we're going to be sitting here a year from now, and you're going to be so blown away by the changes that you've been able to make in your life. And I just let them know that that's where my passion lies. That was my lifestyle change. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen over a couple months. I occasionally will have a few people who go with that 140 option, but most people, what that does is it actually helps them see the value even further in the 199 pack, because they're like, oh, like that's only a little bit more money and I have so much more value there. With the 160 pack, you guys, right now too, just to go off on a little side note, this is insane. Like the position that we have right now, the opportunity that we have to help people, this is absolutely nuts. To have all of our programs and Shakeology and you for a year, you should be singing this from the rooftops. Like everybody should be hearing about this. You should be so confident in this solution for other people. This should be your highest successful month you've ever had. I mean, it's insane. It really is. I didn't have a problem helping people see the value in it at $199, but $160, that's crazy. And you can say that you're offering like a flash sale, you're offering a promo for this for the month. And I do that in the message box too. I see a ton of people who are posting this awful salesy post. So if you've done this, I'm sorry, but you need to stop. This like awful salesy post, it's like 160 all access challenge pack. And it's like the picture from corporate that they told us about it. And you're posting this on your social media. People don't care. They're looking at that and it's just another thing in their newsfeed, right? This should be happening in the message box. So my video for this month, I let them know, you know, I only let them know about the Ultimate Solution Package right now. And I let them know that it's usually $199, but I'm able to offer it to them this month as a promo of $160. So if they want to get started, like you better message me fast because this is going to fly like hotcakes.
I'm so glad to see that, because when we hear you should be singing this from the rooftops, I think everyone's immediate reaction is, oh, I'm going to go post about this right now. And they do that salesy post. So you pointed out that this is within inbox messages. And that's where, you know, people are going to take note of it versus just seeing an ad in their newsfeed, basically what looks like an ad. Okay, so that is so good that you basically use the same video, so you're not having to recreate that video all the time. And then as far as, you know, these people that become lifers and they would make great coaches, are you doing that invite to learn more about the business opportunity in a one-on-one message, or are you also making that invite in your bootcamp groups?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself to get ready to echo. So what I do is I message them personally. If I think that they're going to be a great coach, I think it's so much more effective because they know that I've thought about them. Yeah. And it makes us feel special. You know, so I do post publicly, like, again, not very often. If you follow me on Instagram, occasionally you'll see me post like I'm looking for coaches kind of thing or a mentoring opportunity, but it's like once a month, maybe twice a month, right? That's it. But for those individuals who are in my boot camp, and I'm like, man, like she has been posting a lot in this boot camp. She's getting great results. She's crushing it. Like it just makes natural sense for her to become a coach. I will send her a message and let her know, like, you are amazing. You're crushing it. I pump her up. I let her know how amazing I think she is. And then I say, like, you're doing what I do. You know, you would have so much fun with this. Have you ever thought about it? I mean, it's a very casual conversation. And that's how I usually try to approach most things, especially if I'm personally inviting people, whether it's to my boot camp or to the business. I tend to find that for me, a casual approach is really, really effective. Sometimes like I'll get this like creepy salesy copy paste message. I had somebody yesterday invite me to Rodan Fields and it was so salesy. And I was like, oh my gosh, you just sent this to everybody. Like, that's really weird. But instead, if I go out there and find my army, right? So I'm looking for people just like me. I will let them know why they're just like me in a very casual way. Like, dude, I saw this about you, dude. Like, that's who I am. This was a solution for me. Like, I think you might like it. Have you ever thought about it? Whether that's coaching, whether that's my boot camp, whatever that looks like, a very casual approach. So stop freaking yourselves out about this like copy paste script, because everybody asks me for one. Like this copy paste message is going to be your ticket to, you know, stardom. It doesn't happen. And I think that realizing that is huge. I don't copy paste anything. Voice messages are very effective. If you're Facebook messaging, people can hear you. That's huge. They know that you took the time out of your day to message them. Touching on something that you saw them post about recently. I mean, small little things, very small little things, but tiny little personal touches where you're letting somebody know that you thought about them as a human. That's where we feel connected. And we're like, wow, she has my best interest at heart.
That's awesome. Okay, I think I just have one more question. I'm so sorry to keep you. With your boot camps, are you, and maybe you already said this, are you doing like 21-day or 30-day boot camps, or are you keeping this group like an open boot camp group that's always staying open?
That's a really good question. So for me personally, this is what works best is I run one group and I add new people to it monthly. It's a forever group. I know I've done single groups in the past where like for 30 days they were in a group and then they could graduate to my forever group. So I would run one new group a month and then I had this kind of like forever accountability group where they could graduate. I think that's fine. For me, I just found that running too many groups, it just pulled me too thin, and that's not where I personally thrive. My personality is like when it gets too much, when it's too complicated and there's too many things, I tend to retreat. And so I try to prevent that as much as possible because I know that that's a weakness of mine. Like with emails, it was a weakness of mine. And so I had to make that not happen anymore. With groups, when I had too many groups, I wasn't running them effectively. And so I had to stop that. I realized that about myself. So I run one group. Every month I add new clients in. I believe in power in numbers, so they're all in there motivating each other. And I also think with the All Access pod, since it's 12 months access, it's kind of nice for them to have that like long-term feel in there and they can get comfortable in there instead of moving them around or like kind of just like keeping them supported for a month or 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you don't have a problem, you don't get the problem with maybe some bad apples in there and they're suddenly like advertising their own stuff and stuff like that.
If I do, I message them. Very, very rarely has it been a problem. Once it has, I just send like, hey, you know, you stop that. It's a safe place. People don't want to be sold to in here. And that's kind of what I let them know. I let them know that it's not because I don't support them or their business or whatever they're trying to promote, but this is a safe place. People don't want to be sold and it makes them feel like they are pressured. And I don't want them to feel that way.
And so you just make a point of like posting there once a day, but everyone can post their own stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, totally different than what I do as far as groups, but I love that. I think that's so great. There's so many different ways. I think that's a really effective goal. Okay, so I'm back to echoing, so I better end this. Thank you, Emily. I'm gonna listen again. This was so good. It's no wonder you are where you are. You guys, you have to really be paying attention to what these up and coming leaders are doing because they so get it and they've grown up in the most recent stages of what social media is doing and they've had success with it. So definitely listen to this call again. Make sure you've taken notes and pass it on to your teams. Emily, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you guys later. And next week we'll be doing the do's and don'ts on Facebook. So we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.